My name's Suzanne Lambert. Each year on Remembrance Sunday, I watch the men telling their stories and I see the tears in their eyes, and I know that they're still affected so many years later, and it's so sad. This week I saw a gentleman being interviewed and he was asked, "Do you remember your comrades on Remembrance Sunday?" And he shook his head and said, "No, I have remembered them every single day of my life." My own grandfather, Ernest Benjamin Harmer, fought bravely in the Battle of the Somme, as so many of them did. It was one of the worst battles in history. So many died. I think the statistics were a soldier died every 4.4 seconds. It was horrendous. And when I see the stories, and I've heard so many stories and I've listened to them, and when I heard them, it inspired me to write this that I would like to share with you today. And it's called Letter from the Unknown Soldier to the Future Generation. This will be the last letter I ever write. I am filled with such fear, my hands shake uncontrollably as I desperately struggle to hold the pencil and paper in my hand. No letter has ever been as important as the one I write to you now, the future generation. I want you to know that not only do I die defending my country, but to ensure that you, people I do not know and never will, can live a life of freedom. I die so that you can rise every morning without fear and face each sunrise, safe in the knowledge that you can stand tall and proud in a country that will protect and take care of you. I confess to feeling proud as I took my first steps towards the battlefield, knowing that my country would call me a hero if I didn't make it back, as I am quite sure I will not. There must therefore be a point to all this fighting and hatred. I do not want to fight, but I must. As I raised my rifle at dawn, I realised there must be an end to all this, because for me to survive, I must kill another soldier who, like me, has a family waiting for them. They too will be living in fear of that knock on the door, telling them their son, father, brother will not be coming home. The war rages on, the gunfire is deafening, but for me, the battle is almost over. I will never see my son grow up or be the father I so desperately want to be. Neither will I hold my wife in my arms again or say the words, "I love you." She too must be brave, for I will not be there to support her through the grief and loneliness that is to follow. Stiff upper lip, they will tell her. You're not alone. Be proud of the hero he was. I can see her face now as I close my eyes and almost hear her angry words as she screams out to the universe. Why? For God's sake, why? What is the point of all this fighting? Please tell me. Over the roar of battle, I feel as though I can hear my mother sobbing, and it breaks me to know that her greatest fears are about to be realised. My father will stand tall, putting on a brave face while his fists are clenched and shaking. He will tell everyone his son was a hero and will never be forgotten, and generations to come will remember with pride those who fought and fell for their country. These words will be repeated until he has convinced himself that it is true and it was all worth it. Hero. It's a word on many people's lips, but not mine. How can I possibly be a hero when I lie here, terrified, broken and cold, not feeling the slightest bit brave? I wonder, Is there a heaven? Will I see the light they all talk about? Will I truly feel peace wash over me and finally understand what this earthly life was all about? I've never given God a second thought, to be honest, until this moment. And I begin now to pray in earnest that it's all true and he's waiting for me with outstretched arms. The gunfire has ceased, and I listen as the cries of pain and terror seep through the ghostly smoke-filled battlefields and reach me where I lie. I am finding it difficult to move now. I can no longer crawl, and I watch as a young lad beside me takes his last breath, and it brings new tears to my eyes. His last words were simply, "Mum, Mum." I never knew him yet. I grieve for him and the family he leaves behind. I force myself to move my arm, although the pain is beyond excruciating. Slowly I reach out and close his eyes, whisper goodbye, then reach for his hand. Nobody should die alone. There is nothing I could do for him, but maybe when I reach those shiny pearly gates, I will please with God to let his mother know that she was the last thing on her son's mind. This, at least, I can do for him. I smile suddenly as I realise it's going to be a busy day up there today. As death crawls ever nearer, a feeling of acceptance washes over me, knowing I have given my life for my son's freedom and for all of you, the future generation, in the hope that this will never happen again. I die so your child will be more than a photograph on the mantelpiece or a name on a plaque. I die so you will be free to live your life without pain. I die so that you will be free to live your life without fear. I die so you can stand up for your beliefs and make yourself heard without recrimination. I die so that you will never experience the horrors I have faced. This I do for you. On behalf of the men and boys who have given and will give their lives for you, I ask, do not let this be in vain. I die so you'll be free. Dear children of the future, please remember me. To my grandfather and all of the soldiers, both past and present, I say to you now, we will never forget. Thank you.